More than 200 of his troops.
I don't have nothing good to say about Custer. You know, the stories that I've heard of this man, you know, he was no human being, it almost sounds like. For what was left of him on this earth, remains are all over this earth, right up there.
William Goodbird is a traditional singer from the Spirit Lake Dakota Nation. Custer's defeat stunned Americans on what was the country's 100th anniversary. I'm Ed Donahue.
And reenactments took place yesterday to illustrate the Battle of Little Bighorn. You'll find more of these stories at townhall.com.
Barry knows cool, he's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool, you can put him to the test.
Warmer temperatures mean more strain on your heating and air system. Time to call Barano Heating and Air and get a full checkup on your HVAC system to keep it healthy through the summer months. Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Get details at baranoac.com.
Barano Heating and Air Conditioning.
License EZ 1.16186.
That funky noise your car started making isn't a little thing.
Welcome to Living Tallahassee On Air, presented by Tallahassee Ford, based on the popular Living Tallahassee Facebook page. Call now to be a part of the show, 850-386-8255. And now, here's your host, Patty Wilson.
Good afternoon, everybody. We have a huge show. We're going to get right into it. We have Jeremy Cohen, attorney at law, Black & Cohen. I'll get you his contact information. But he is challenging school zone cameras, not because people shouldn't speed, blah, blah, blah. Get that. But there's constitutional situations regarding these school zone cameras in my very lay estimation. And that's what we're going to talk about today because it's a big deal. And they're like, why is this on Living Tallahassee? Because it's a big deal. We're all getting, we're like, some of us are getting these citations. I probably will at some point. But what happens when you get one and how do you challenge it? If you're saying I own the car, I wasn't in the car, it wasn't that time of day. There's so much confusion about the time of the day, confusion about, wait a second, I'm at DeSoto Trail going up Velda Dairy. There's a camera, but the entrance to the school is not anywhere near that. Same with the ones on Tharp Street. The entrance to the school is not where the camera is. Kids aren't walking across the street there. So what are we talking about? So welcome, Jeremy, to Living Tallahassee On Air.
Thank you for having me.
Should get lots of calls.
I hope so.
If anyone would
people are watching.
Get calls, today would be the day.
We are taking calls, 850-386-8255. I had a little discussion, very brief, on Facebook with one of the admin, David West, and he's like, well, just slow down. And I said, David, he's a wonderful man, love him to death, but it's a far cry beyond just slow down.
I'm not against people obeying whatever the requirements are. My challenge is that I'm not necessarily sure that it fits those guidelines. So I do understand that that is the response from some, but the reality is that, and it will take the Davids of the world to also receive one of these when they're trying to do the right thing, not knowing what the right thing is because we're not real clear on it. We've been notified that they exist, but we certainly have not been notified in terms of how we're supposed to maintain ourselves during whatever time it is or not. And you literally have to become a historian of days to understand where you were, what you were doing, when you went. There's a lot of requirements. I mean, you have to drive 15 miles an hour in order to document what you're doing.
I do it even if there's no school zone.
It's
like in front of there. Like if I'm near a school, I'm going 15.
But so is everybody, even at 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Because you don't know.
No one knows. And there's not real clarity, and we were talking about this earlier, and I hope to get more into it on this segment, but there's not enough clarity about when it's happening, where it's happening, why it's happening. And quite frankly, the notification that I'm getting, I'm already in the school zone before I even know what I'm supposed to do, if I'm supposed to do it. And there's not a lot of clarity around that. But moreover, I think it's going to require more and more people, and I'm one of those people that just paid it to make it go away. But it's going to require more and more people to fight it in order for me and others to feel some security in the fact that it's happening and it makes sense. And I really question, for those that have been, that you go after, meaning where you are questioning the powers that be about said ticket, and you're winning those, how many of those that you're winning for someone at the helm to say, wait a minute, there's a lot of questions and discrepancies in terms of what one should know in order to feel like it made sense in terms of getting the ticket. It's not like you had a police officer that was there, a human being that clocked you, you were here, you were there, you were the one in the car. I mean, there's a lot of questions. And when you go back and you peel this apart, how many things are involved and who are the responsible parties for those things? Meaning, if it's flashing, not flashing, was the sign up, not up? Were you in the car, not in the car?
Is it a half day, not a half day?
Was there a hurricane on that day? You know,
does the rule change when there's a hurricane and they let the kids out sooner? So Jeremy, help us. We have a call already.
Yes.
Can you hold it for just a minute? Could you have just hold it?
Lots of
so help us on that briefly, and then we'll take the call.
You're making my life easy.
It's the first time I've ever heard that. Thank you.
These are in my bag, my trial bag, many of the questions that I have that I still can't get answered because somebody is not there with knowledge of what happened. The traffic enforcement infraction officer, the retired TPD officer, he wasn't physically present. He's looking at a camera shot of it later or a feed or whatever it is. So he has to answer, I don't know, to a lot of these questions. He doesn't know if the camera was working. He doesn't know if the light was flashing. He doesn't know that. It's not in his area either. Somebody else does that.
Oh my God. So if you just are tuning in to Living Tallahassee on air, tomorrow on Patty's Playhouse, Saturday at 11, we had another conversation with Jeremy. Please tune in. So it's different roles for this guy. So there's a retired TPD officer that's supposed to be representing the vendor. So when you go to the hearing that says, yes, this is the car, this is the blank, but doesn't know a lot of the other stuff, it's another person.
Right. And that's where some of my work, here's my dilemma. I file a lot of motions. I try a lot of cases. That's what I do. I'm a trial person. I'm teaching them how to do it better each time. So in other words, I may win a few and then they get better, and then I win a few more.
Yeah, he's going to get a better. He'll be a better witness.
Correct.
Eventually.
Eventually. He won't be able to, but my understanding now is they're going to have to bring an engineer from Red Speed to be there to testify. And I don't know what that person knows or doesn't know.
Is responsible for the flashing lights.
Well, they're not. The DMV is responsible for
my point.
I didn't know that until today. The DOT is responsible.
We need to
for
get our caller. Let's
yes.
Talk
Can we get
him.
the caller, Jason? Thank you.
Danny.
Hey, Danny. I'm Patty Wilson. Nice to meet you.
Hey, how you doing, Patty?
What's your question?
So, I guess my question is, I'm actively fighting my ticket that I received from earlier this year. I have a trial date for a little bit later on this year. I've already been to first appearance and entered my not guilty plea. And I guess my question for Jeremy is, what is the best way for, someone in my situation to attack this when I do appear before the judge in September? My couple of angles on this. Is number one, I received 2 citations in the mail, one initially and then one as a reminder. They both had different speeds listed on them. So that, to me, if we're talking about accuracy here for a speeding ticket, I feel like even a few tenths of a mile per hour off, accuracy is very important here. So I'm kind of attacking it from that angle to begin with. But also, I've been following these cases all over the state since I got my ticket. And I know the ticket clinic, which obviously represents people all over the Florida and the country, has been fighting these things successfully in Broward and Osceola and Seminole counties and things like that. And they're essentially their argument is these speed zone cameras have not been approved by the state. They have not been approved by the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. So therefore, if you're going to give me a county if you're only going to give me a ticket in a county within the state, that these should basically all be thrown out. And they've been challenging them successfully at a pretty high rate. Am I on the right path right now in terms of going in to, defend my ticket when I go before the judge in September? Or do you have any other advice for people like, me in my situation?
Great question.
Thanks, Danny.
So I'll take it in reverse. Yes, the device argument is one that I'm very aware of. Discussed this at length with some of the folks that you mentioned that also handle these downstate. The pre-approval that was required, at least that's the legal position, and that's always been the case, that the device has to be certified by DMV before it's put into use, meaning it's an approved speed measurement device. The problem that I see with the speed measurement device is multifold. Number one, the vendor in Tallahassee is Red Speed. Number two, Smart Micro is the German company on these posts. That's the device itself, and it's either radar or LiDAR is the actual measuring device of what they're measuring the speed to be. So you have a time clock and you have a speed device. All of these things have to be calibrated, in my mind. All of these things have to be approved.
Stick with us. We have a break coming up. Living Tallahassee on air.
We'll be right back with more Living Tallahassee on air, presented by Tallahassee Ford. Call now to be a part of the show, 850-386-8255. More Living Tallahassee on air returns next on Real Talk 93.3.
And join us for a special live broadcast of Revved Up with Bill McKinney, Saturday, June 27th from noon until 2 p.m. We're taking the show live on the road to Tallahassee Ford. Expect car talk, life talk, great stories, a few laughs, and candid conversations with real customers sharing their Tallahassee Ford experiences. Join us for Revved Up with Bill McKinney, live from Tallahassee Ford, Saturday, June 27th from 12 to 2 p.m.
Games for Less, Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used games, as well as new and used consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, PS4, and PS5. You name it. Locally owned and operated since 1994, trade-ins are not only welcome, but Games for Less pays more for your trade-ins than the big chain stores. That's not all. Games for Less now buys and sells new and used vinyl records to boot. George loves the Beatles, by the way. Reserve all the new releases today at Games for Less, conveniently located in the Walmart Supercenter Plaza on Appalachian Parkway.
Florida man, what'd you do to yourself this time?
Disney World. Me and Hank, my emotional sport alligator, we did it all.
Please tell me you weren't swimming in the Seven Seas Lagoon again.
Well, not this time. We rode the monorail to the Magic Kingdom, hit Space Mountain, crushed some turkey legs, and we washed it down with a couple of Dole Whips. And the best part, the Country Bear Jamboree.
Sounds like a great day so far. What happened?
Well, we're running late, and I'm sprinting to the front row of the show, and it starts, and the music's playing, and crowds are clapping. I got carried away. I got this bright idea. I'm going to stage dive to Hank. I jumped, Hank tried to catch me, and pop, my back went out midair.
Well, I'm glad you came, because Dr. Finn's going to get you fixed right up.
Well, next time, we're sitting in the back row.
You don't have to do a Disney stage dive to get back pain, neck pain, headaches, or numbness in your arms and legs. Come see us at Fenn Chiropractic for exceptional care to help your body heal itself the right way. Book your appointment online today at fennchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com.
Sometimes a family needs a little help to deal with life stresses. You can contribute to happy, healthy childhoods with a few simple steps. Notice families under stress. Offer a helping hand. Give your time. Talk about healthy child development. Connect a family with resources. Contributing to a great childhood can be as easy as being a good neighbor. For more, preventchildabusefl.org. This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Dive into summer fun at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas. Get 15% off endless pool swim spas. Plus, enjoy free delivery while supplies last. Endless pools are perfect for swimming, exercising, or relaxing right in your backyard. Enjoy year-round fun with customizable features and the peace of mind that comes with a quality product. Visit TallahasseeHotSpring.com today and make a splash with Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas.
All right, quick question. When did your garage turn into a storage unit that you don't even remember renting? Like you open the door and it's Christmas decorations from 2007, a broken treadmill, 3 mystery boxes, and 1 rake you swear you bought twice. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. That's why I finally called Southeast Portable Buildings right here in Tallahassee. And listen, these aren't those flimsy, good luck in a thunderstorm sheds. These things are legit, solid, built tough, look great in your yard, and they can actually match your house instead of looking like you lost the bet. You want a workshop, storage, man cave, she shed, a place to hide from your family for 20 minutes? Done. They deliver it, set it up, and in less than a day, boom, I can park in my garage again like an adult. Give Southeast Portable Buildings a call, 850-580-6400. That's 850-580-6400, or visit them online at Southeast Portable Buildings. Southeast Portable Buildings, reclaim your house.
Enjoy summer.
We're back with Living Tallahassee on Air, presented by Tallahassee Ford. Call 850-386-8255 to be part of the show.
Welcome back. We have Jeremy Cohen with Black & Cohen, attorney at law, and I'm going to post on Living Tallahassee all the Facebook groups. We have Living Tallahassee on Air, the radio show. We have the main group. We have the complaints department, Living Tallahassee Complaints Department. We have a new group, Living Tallahassee Buy and Barter, which you can put all your personal items up there or trade your services out. Love it. No cost to you. And then there's the real estate, which is, I'm a big fan of. So between those 3 groups, we're over 100,000 members. And Jeremy's number is 850-907-9700, but I will post on all the groups his contact information. Thousands of you are getting these tickets. Most of you are paying them because they don't want to be like, I don't want to hurt my husband whose car it was. I don't want to hurt other people. And you just don't have that time. Or I just want to
make it go away.
Like we talked to Danny. He got it earlier in the year. It's September's his hearing.
Well,
that's 9 months.
Back to Danny's question.
Danny had a great question.
Is a valid one. And as I thought about it during the break, when you are going to fight this, let's talk about this calibration and making sure that everything has been
we have a question too from
validated,
Facebook.
Right? So if that really is the start and finish of it all, it doesn't matter if the lights were blinking. It doesn't matter. Like all of the other things that come. So do you fight it that way? And I think that's what Danny's question was, is like, I don't believe it. I've got two different speeds, which makes no sense to me. Like it shouldn't be off like a tenth. It should literally be
the same.
This is the data. The data is the data, right? That does make no sense to me whatsoever. But I think his question back to where he's seeing Osceola, Seminole, wherever these other counties were that he mentioned it, if there's a way to fight this, which just starts with the basics, which is, I don't trust it. Is it better to fight that way or to come at it from a different direction with regards to all of the other ancillary things that I brought up earlier?
So when they put this statute together, they obviously piggybacked on the old red light camera statute. So all the years of fighting those, the statute got better this time around.
Okay.
So the procedural questions, which is, I think, what you were referring to, are always in play. The substantive issues are always floating around. So I win a lot of cases, not camera cases, but a lot of the other cases on procedural grounds. I've won a lot of my camera cases on procedural grounds also. The problem is, and that's the problem of answering Danny's question, is every time I win one, the vendor or the city gets better.
Right.
So
another question from Ken Deemer, longtime friend of mine. Technologically speaking, here in Tallahassee, we have extremely strong thunderstorms. How can the base calibration be verified after? How often are these units calibrated with the most current software version or firmware updates? Do you know?
That's the other problem on the calibration side. The legislature only required 2 very minimal, very basic steps. Only one of them requires a human being. The first step to calibrate the cameras, these speed zone cameras, is that the camera, device, radar, whatever it is, calibrates itself and says, I'm okay. That's the daily, monthly function that it does. The second one is an annual calibration, which is much more relaxed than a radar or laser calibration, which has to be done every 6 months by Florida Administrative Code. The statute for the cameras, these speed zone cameras, requires a once a year independent engineer. They do that. I'm not saying they don't. But for anyone that remembers 2001: A Space Odyssey, we're asking the computer to tell us that the computer's functioning. That's not a good circumstance for HAL 9000. It's certainly not a good circumstance for these school zone cameras, because they're a camera, a computer, a radar, a LiDAR. There's a lot of different components moving around within the thing you see on a pole.
And there are firmware updates and software updates and hacking and viruses and all sorts of things. And you've got the gentleman, retired TPD, bless his heart, sitting there going, I don't know, I'm out. Like, I win, you don't know, then what are you doing here?
Well, I asked him, how's it supplied? Is it solar? Is it buffering?
Oh my.
Is all this stuff going up into the ether, into
where's the
cloud?
cloud?
In a cloud? Yeah. It was like eyes glazing over. He just looks at a computer all day long. I asked him at one point how many of those he does a day, and he says it varies. And then he made the mistake of bragging about it. I said, so you're doing less than
people don't
every few
listen.
seconds? You're just hitting the approve button to get to that number in his hours of the days. So he's sitting there
like,
all day.
is there a quota to support himself?
Right.
You know there is.
So and I asked
Let
him
me
also,
answer that.
like, are you drooling or falling asleep? I mean, did the book fall in your lap?
Yeah, what happens when you get up for coffee?
Right.
850-386-8255. If you have questions for Patty and Scott or Jeremy Cohen, you can hire him at 850-907-9700. Real easy number.
So, that is a great number. I guess I have questions with regards to hiring you, and what people will go through. Back to Danny's question is, how do I know how to fight this, right? What am I fighting? Because there's so many things that you could fight, and sometimes you're fighting the wrong thing, even though if you'd have fought a different way, you would have won versus lost. So what are people finding, or what are you finding in terms of individuals that are coming to you to fight? Because I think many people want to fight. The concern is, and we know this just from every other case known to man, small claims court, et cetera, people don't want to do it because it costs more to fight than it does to actually pay it, which is what I think most people are doing. So what's it look like when people come to you for cost purposes so that they may call you? Because I think the more of us that fight, the better the situation will be, and the more we can rely on the outcome.
So if I were to tell you, which I tell folks that call me or that meet me, number one, that $100 notice of violation you received, I call like a parking fine. It's not cheap, but that's what it is. If you pay it, it never appears anywhere. The vendor took the money. Nobody can find it. If it goes to the traffic citation, meaning you failed to pay it and they sent you the love note by certified mail. If you got it, you may not have gotten any of them. Then it's a traffic citation. But a lot of people are shocked to find out that whether you win, lose, or draw, you never have points with these. It's another thing the legislature did to try to circle in some of the
because I'd like to know who
constitutional
you're
issues.
giving the points to.
Correct. Because you can't point a car, number one.
Right.
You could put points on the owner of the car, but again, that's a problem. So it's just a cost issue at that
10
point.
seconds. I want to come back. I want to come back to all of this.
Stick with us, Patty and Scott. We got Jason Taylor behind the glass and Jeremy Cohen.
Your local news now.
A Madison County Sheriff's deputy was seriously injured Thursday on I-10 after being struck by a car while conducting a traffic stop. The incident unfolded at about 8:30 p.m. near mile marker 251 on the eastbound lane shoulder after the deputy pulled someone over for a traffic stop. While stepping out of the patrol car, another driver lost control and struck the deputy. It remains unclear how the driver lost control. The deputy was taken by helicopter to the hospital with serious injuries, but is alert and stable. No other injuries were reported from the incident. The Florida Highway Patrol was at the scene to investigate the collision. Florida 511 cameras showed that one lane of the roadway was closed and a large law enforcement presence was in the area. Madison County Sheriff David Harper posted to Facebook saying information is limited at this time. However, I humbly ask our community to pray for our deputy. This is Rachel Lene with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update. Brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
Now, here's your Tallahassee weather report.
Temperatures are climbing fast by midday. We will be in the upper 80s, only warming a little bit more into the low 90s by the late afternoon. The heat index will be in the low hundreds, and it's just a taste of what is to come for the back end of the weekend. Showers and storms are possible again this afternoon, which could help cool us off. They'll start around 12 p.m. From the ABC 27 First to Know Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Ryan Gold.
Your business depends on technology every single day. But when your systems slow down, your business slows down with them. That's where I2X Solutions comes in. From legal to financial firms to healthcare, nonprofits, and professional services, I2X Solutions helps organizations stay secure, connected, and productive. Technology solutions tailored to their exact needs. Need proactive cybersecurity, cloud migration support? Visit i2xsolutions.com or call 692-3796 now and learn how I2X Solutions can protect your business, power your success.
Honey, what are these mushrooms in our yard? Portobello?
Huh. Let me take a look. Oh,
Shiitake.
I don't know, but our septic system is failing, and our whole yard smells like.
Should we try to cook these up and eat them tonight?
This is bad, Sheila.
Well, we better fix it soon, or we're going to be in deep.
Sheila, look. It's Crud Septic. Our prayers are answered.
Call Crud Septic Service today. Pump outs, installs, repairs. CrudSeptic.com. That's CrudSeptic.com.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Do you have spring fever? Your only prescription is the Lawn Johns. Hi, it's Mark from the Lawn Johns. We can make your landscape more appealing by providing you with award-winning lawn care. With 4 levels of service, the Lawn Johns offers you more choices than the rest. More flowers, more mulch, or more pine straw all means that your home or office will be more beautiful than ever. So if you've got spring fever, go to thelawnjohns.com or just look for our big purple truck.
I gotta have more cowbell.
Tallahassee's 30-year-old funny paper and American Legion Post 13 have joined forces to become Major Morale. The new magazine has 4 more pages of post activities and military information that you probably never knew. But don't worry, it's still as politically correct and newsworthy as always. Okay, it's the same funny stuff, but it's still only available at the sponsors' locations like Krispy Kreme, ABC Flooring, Keith Lawson Services, or Tallahassee Automobile and Collectibles Museum. See over 160 vehicles dating from 1894 to 2016 that include the first car ever built in America, 3 Batmobiles, trucks, and motorcycles. Other artifacts include the finest Steinway piano collection in the world, metal cars, antique boats and motors, sports memorabilia, case knives, and much more. Find them all.
sure to join the Living Tallahassee Facebook group. Now back to Living Tallahassee On Air with Patty Wilson, presented by Tallahassee Ford.
Welcome back. It's Living Tallahassee On Air, which is based on the Facebook group. It's 79,000 people. I'm going to not toot my own horn right now. We're going to go back to Jeremy Cohen. We're talking school zone cameras. Constitutionally, I still believe 4th and 6th Amendment, you have the right to face your accuser. My accuser is not the TPD retired police officer sitting at a computer, drinking his coffee, deciding when to hit approve. Sorry, it's just not.
No, you have lots of rights. And I think that this whole discussion, and back to Danny's question once again, is what's the best way to fight it, and what's it look like from a cost perspective in order to hire someone in order to fight it for you?
It sounded like Danny was representing himself.
Well, it did, but I'm just for those of you who are sitting at home ready to write that check.
I know.
I mean, even yours truly included. It is, we want to do the right thing, and you want to fight the system, because I think that's the only way that you get to a better system than what it appears that we have. What's it look like in terms of outsourcing it to you, Jeremy?
So there's a few things in that. One, the behavioral issues you mentioned earlier, and I'll get to the dollars in a second, but if we all went 15 miles an hour through these school zones at all times, the camera won't violate any of us.
Yeah,
so there'll be
many of us
no
are
profit.
doing that, I can tell you.
I am doing it.
Now, go the other way with that same argument. If the revenue keeps going up, then these cameras are a failed system. It's not working. So one or the other has to happen, or the third option is they have to hire somebody, like you said, to take on the machine. And I try to do that as, financially as possible, understanding that folks.
It's $100 ticket. Is it charging
If
like
you got the first
$500 to
it's
fight
$200 once you get certified.
Oh, when I get one, which I will get one,
Certified
I will
mail.
fight it, and I'll just deal with it. We'll swap out trade or something. I'm definitely fighting it.
Well, I think many people are trying to figure out how to fight the system, and how much does that look like. So roundabout, I know you don't, it's case by case, but what's it look like for somebody?
How much does the court cost to do it, even if it's not your services? If I'm going to go pro se, which is by yourself, how much does that cost to just fight it?
They could go up to, if they find you guilty, they could go up to $500. I understand on this. I don't see that very often.
Well, if you're representing yourself, you might. So because I don't know how to fight it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Danny's question was a valid one.
It is.
I know what I know, but I don't know what I don't know. And quite frankly, am I fighting this the right way?
And who are you
because
fighting?
There's so many variables.
You're
in
fighting
that
the
string.
school board. You're fighting school safety. You're fighting TPD. Soon to be fighting the county. Like, there's so many layers to this that are just below the mind constitutionally. Who is my accuser? I still go back to that.
What we haven't talked about is that the city contract that this vendor provides flock cameras.
Right.
So there's the school zone cameras. So
They're the same vendor for the flock?
They provide a flock camera for every one of the school zone cameras, is the way I read their most recent version of the contract. So this flock system, to get to your constitutional issue, we're creating a surveillance issue, a surveillance network, not very different from what everyone reacted to during the Super Bowl this year.
The ring camera.
The ring camera. So what we're looking at is the school zone cameras are on during the school day. The flock cameras and the
I question
license plate readers are on all day long. Then you have personal cell phones. Then you have business security that opt in. Then you have home security, like what happened with that ad that got all the blowback during the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have drones. So there's drone systems out there that I've read about separately from this that are flock, as I understand it, that are flock cameras as well. So
do you mean flock as in the brand name flock, or just the style of camera?
There, you can look at.
It is a brand name.
That is the brand name. There's organizations to deflock I would say, what the flock. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are trying to bring all this down.
I say what the flock all the time.
Exactly.
So what we keep talking about is just more and more variables, honestly.
Right.
And so when you take on a case, for those who want to call and question what they're questioning outside of the obvious, which is, I don't know what I don't know, meaning is any of this being checked? Does it make sense? Is there something that is being done regularly that would give me comfort in the fact that they're working properly? What information do you need from them, and what does it look like for cost? And I keep going back to that because I think if you narrow down kind of what that looks like, I think more and more people would do what I should have done, but I didn't get it. It was 4 or 5 months later and nobody wants to think about it. So you just pay it. But I really feel like that is the easy way out. And it unfortunately backs the system. And that's not what I would want to do, especially in my case, because I didn't believe it was valid or right.
Right.
But go on.
In terms of the attorney fees that are involved and the costs that are involved and things of that nature, it as I mentioned in I think the prior event that we did, I do everything from traffic fatalities to traffic homicides to all these civil citations, speeding and whatnot. So the answer, and everyone hates lawyers for this, is it really depends on the nature of the offense.
How many you've had, what you're doing.
Correct. And one thing that the caller mentioned, which really disturbs me, is he said, and I've not reviewed this, he said he has 2 tickets or notice
He got
violations
2 notices
for the same time with 2 different speeds on them.
Yes, he did.
So I would like to see that, because for that to have happened, there's something seriously wrong. Because I've reviewed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. I've never seen that circumstance yet. It may have been the same camera. It may have been coming and going. It may have been eastbound, westbound, north, southbound.
It just brings to light another irregularity if it were true.
Right. And I have not seen in my practice yet somebody that got one on a Saturday or a Sunday. I've heard a lot of stuff out there.
I thought he said the first one was notice of violation was 1 speed. When he got the reminder,
when he got the certified one,
it was a different speed.
It was a different speed.
It wasn't. He got 2 violations.
He got one violation, 2 notifications, whatever you want to call it.
And Danny, if you have wait, we have a call. So, Danny.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, Danny. Thanks for calling back. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I just wanted to clarify the point that you were just talking about. The first notice I had did list 1 speed, and the second notice I had saying that the fine was not only late but now had doubled.
Thank you.
A feed to it was a second speed. It was off by 0.3, but obviously I noticed that immediately. And so I know you say you haven't seen that before. I mean, I had the 2 citations. I have the original copies of them as well. I thought that was really important to hold on to and keep. For my particular case. So I do, and like I said before, I think if we're talking about accuracy here in these speeds, 1/10 is too much. So, I've got 2 notices. One says 1 speed, one says 0.3 off another, on another mark. So yeah, that's
out of curiosity on those 2 tickets. Let's imagine it was 35. So does one say 35 period, meaning just 35, and does the other one say 35 and 0.3? I'm wondering if it's a rounded issue. Not that should make any sense, because
what were your 2 speeds? Let's say that. Do you know, Danny?
I'm sorry. What did you say, Pat?
What were the 2 speeds?
Yeah, so we're talking basically exactly what you said. It was 35 and then 34.7 on my second notation, or my second citation.
So my guess is there's a rounding issue somewhere in there, but it brings to light another irregularity, because to me, if I'm getting notification, regardless of what you want to call it, but if I'm getting that notification twice, then that notification should be the same.
Danny, if you could call me after 656-0009, okay?
Yep. Sure.
Thanks.
No problem. Thanks, Ed.
Thank you for calling back.
So again, if the data is being collected and somebody is pulling it in and running these tickets, if you will, who knows on this day in particular how it was ran, and somebody forgot punched a number, and now all of a sudden you've got what the rounded up number versus the actual number that was clocked, I guess, during that time. But to me, along with Danny and others, we'd all like it to be the same, and we would like to know. I think back to Danny's original point, like to know how to fight the system. Because if you're going to fight it, you want to fight to win no matter what, but to understand what it is that is happening, because we all have the reasons, right? We could come to you and say these 10 things don't make sense to me, but if it really all stems back to the one thing, then it doesn't make sense to fight about the other 10 things, right? So now that things have gotten better, because as you mentioned before, that meaning the system should be getting better. And that's my whole thought process behind all of this. It is that I want to encourage everything to get better. So I'm comfortable that when I do get a ticket, that I know that it makes sense.
It was you.
And that it was me. I understood what was happening at the time. It was clear to me, not that I was notified, once upon a time, but that there was real information for me so that I could feel like that made sense and pay the bill and call it a day.
Stick with us. Give us a call, 850-386-8255. It's Living Tallahassee on air.
More Living Tallahassee on air is coming up next on Real Talk 93.3.
It's Ed Dean along with Roger Henderson, also with FloridaDaily.com. Just want to remind you, daily 4 to 6 in the afternoons right here in Tallahassee on Real Talk 93.3 FM. Roger, it is literally the 2 fastest hours anywhere in afternoon talk radio.
And if you think the country's going crazy, we'll help you make sense of it all.
Oh, yeah, we'll try to make some sense of it. Again, Monday through Friday in the afternoons, Ed Dean, Roger Henderson on 93.3.
At Epps Decorating Center, we're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore, available at Epps Decorating Center with 2 locations in Tallahassee. Find a store near you and visit EppsDecorating.com. That's EppsDecorating.com.
We all have a favorite room in the house. But what if a space outside of your house could be transformed to your new favorite room inside the house? We're talking sunrooms with Leon Screening and Repair.
I hear a lot of people tell us the sunroom has become their favorite room in their house. They drink their morning coffee out there, whether it be the Easy Breeze windows or actually, going all the way to glass windows and closing it, all the way around you. So you feel like you're more outside. Pretty backyard, you got your bird feeders, the birds are flying around, but you're comfortable, I can't say how many people tell me that that's where they drink their morning coffee every single morning.
Leon Screening and Repair builds custom screen rooms, sunrooms, and outdoor living spaces that turn unused patios into the best room in your house. Find out more about all our services and get a free estimate today at leonscreening.com. That's leonscreening.com.
Town for jewelry, pen town for jewelry, pen town for jewelry, home of the real nice price. Hey man, have you heard the sound? The town for jewelry's the best in town. For rings, diamonds, earrings, bracelets, and more. Pen town for jewelry store.
June's birthstone is Pearl, so all month long you can get 40% off all Pearl items only at Pentalpha Jewelry. Find the perfect gift for any occasion or treat yourself from our exquisite collection that has something for everyone. Don't miss this limited time offer to add elegance to your style. And come see us today on Appalachian Parkway, where we've always been. Now, sing along with me, and we'll see you at Pentalpha.
Pentalpha Jewelry, Pentalpha Jewelry, Pentalpha Jewelry, home of the real nice guys.
This is G. Deckeroff. In 1979, my friend Guy Moore opened his first store. Over 45 years later, Garnet & Gold is still providing the Seminole Nation with unique ways to show their spirit. As the last locally owned FSU merchandise source in Tallahassee, we're proud to be a part of the Florida State experience and this community. If you're a Seminole like me, this is your store. Guard it in gold. Go Knowles.
At Wrench Blisters Garage, we don't have marble floors or leather couches. What we do have is grease under our nails, calluses on our palms. At Wrench Blisters, we earn fixing cars the honest way, by working hard, just like your car or truck. If you need the auto repairs, bring it to the guys who still turn their own wrenches. At Wrench Blisters Garage, we earn our name.
Wrench Blisters Garage. Yeah, we earned our name. Wrench Blisters Garage.
Find us online at wrenchblistersgarage.com.
Real Talk 93.3 and the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce would like to welcome its newest members. Businesses making a difference here at home. Line X of Tallahassee, Midtown Men's Health and Med Spa, Midtown Reader, News Service of Florida, Nexus Real Estate Group, Pasta for Everyone LLC, Pro Playgrounds, Pure Green Cascades, Southeastern Industrial Construction, Spring Hill Suites Tallahassee Central, and Stay RVing Mobile Service LLC. Thank you for growing local with the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce. For information on membership and meetings, visit talchamber.com.
We're back with Living Tallahassee on Air, presented by Tallahassee Ford. Call now to be a part of the show, 850-386-8255.
Welcome back. We have one more segment left with Jeremy Cohen, attorney at law. His number is 850-907-9700. And he's talking about school zone cameras and really our civil rights, because they're like, it's a civil penalty, so you don't have, no. We have civil rights every day, all day. That's how it works. It doesn't matter what penalty you get, you still have civil rights. And so Jeremy came on to talk about this, like who is my accuser? And it doesn't matter if it's a civil case or not. You still have a right to know your accuser.
Well, I have a few questions that I need answered before we get off this final segment.
Okay,
and that
go ahead.
is roundabout, what does it look like for somebody to fight something? And I know it's all going to be dependent on cases and people. Let's just take one. Somebody like me who's not got a lot of them and doesn't have a lot of infractions in general, but has received this thing, and I've already described multiple times my personal situation. The main thing on my personal situation, and I still want to get to a roundabout number, so you've not committed to that, but I'd still like to give, I want more people to call, because the more people that call and the more that people are questioning, I think the better the system becomes. So it's selfishly,
well, we already invited Jeremy to come back.
More important, but we don't want to come back again for any other segment. I want people to call you. I want to know a number. And the other thing is, it all starts with really the basics, right? And I'm still stuck on this whole thing of how do you know it's me? And you've got a tag, right? What happens with those that are, we'll call it Waste Pro. And I've got all of the fleet of cars and whatnot, and yet they're rolling through there. Better yet, City of Tallahassee. I'd like to have some stats on that. So as they're rolling through here, who's getting that? How are you holding them responsible? Because you can't do anything to their license because they don't have a license. Where do you go and who do you hit? And the mere fact
you do have a call too. So once he answers
the mere fact that you would be taking away somebody's right to drive when they may not have even been in the vehicle in the first place is just crazy to me. And then if we're going to be clear on that, you want to be able to affect everybody, but you can't do that with fleets.
So do you have a question?
Right. So the fleet vehicle issue is an interesting one. Let's say you said Waste Pro. I was going to say, let's say it's Joe the plumber.
Okay.
If Joe the plumber has his fleet in the name of the company, meaning the ownership of all of his service vehicles don't have a named owner person, then I think you're right. I think there's a glitch in the system there.
We call it a public company. How do you go? You going to go against shareholders?
Well,
what are you going to
do? You can't what they call D6 the license, meaning that the person failed to take action, the person never showed up, the person never paid the ticket.
Because there's no person.
And then they suspended because there's no person. But if Joe the plumber had all of his vehicles in Joe Smith's name, then he's going to get violated, potentially suspended. And to answer something else, in Miami-Dade County, just one county, and they were furious I brought this up in one of my last hearings, the Miami Herald went back and found 34,000 drivers in Miami-Dade County had been suspended since their school zone camera program started. So a year and a half, whatever the time period was. What I recommend everyone needs to do, because that could be you, it could be me, it could be a law enforcement officer driving a patrol car right now, it could be a CDL driver right now that's riding around suspended, has no idea they're suspended.
Correct.
Florida DHSMV has a website. You go into that website, you can plug in your driver's license number, get it right, do it a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no name or anything else that comes up.
Correct.
And then it comes back valid or not valid.
Oh, okay.
No personal information is given.
They will put you in jail for a
information
violated.
is received.
They will put you in jail for that.
But every one of us probably, before we get off this program, should go and check, because you might right now be driving around listening to this program.
We do have a call.
Okay.
So yeah, Jason, is he still on? Yeah, great. Hello, I'm Patty.
Hey, Patty, you know who this is.
And Major Morale. What's your question, Major? We're trying to get through as many as possible, so don't speed you up.
No, you only got 2 minutes by my clock. Okay, I missed the part. Was Danny cited during school hours?
Oh, he didn't say.
No one knows.
I told him to call me afterwards because I don't know.
And we'd have to have that chart to cross-reference it with to even determine.
There is no chart.
That's my whole point. Well, there's a chart,
Jeremy
but it's
said
literally
it's like,
this thing, a piece of paper where I have to then point on the 29th of November to determine what was happening. And quite frankly, I guarantee you, not all things are on that chart.
Well, I don't even know, like middle school is one set of times. Elementary school is another. High school is even another one. You don't even know the chart, but I will find out, Major. I'm going to find out.
I'm the Cary Forest boy up here hanging out. I haven't been hit yet, but I have seen the lights blinking when that school is not even in session.
Me too. Even Cary Forest.
Well,
that
it makes more sense that the
That
DOT
is absolutely correct.
The DOT is in control of the lights, not the county. Right? The DMV, it's a different group that's in control of those lights.
Unfortunately, when that happens, many people walk away and think they never got one. And so thank God, I wasn't caught, but it really brings up a bigger point, which is why these things are not all synced, because they're different syncing people and different syncing methods. And when you're calibrating one thing, are you calibrating the other? Who is in charge of making sure that stuff is right? Well, that's my whole point.
So the website to find out if your license is valid or not is the FLHSMV, and then you do driver's license check.
That's absolutely right.
So before we get off on this, give me a number. What does it look like in terms of fighting it?
Do you take a retainer? What is it?
Yeah, most of my
how's it happen?
cases,
Go on.
They could be 1,500 for on the high end. They could be 500. They could be a few hundred under that. So it's a range depending. Again, somebody might have a real serious problem here that we're going to have to deal with. What I often find out is I go in and I see people have been assessed points, not in school zone cases, but in other scenarios.
Right.
So I have other work I can provide.
I'm just
value
talking about
to them.
the school zone ones. I'm not talking about the other stuff. I'm trying to convince those that are convince the people like me that,
to pay
that didn't call to
hire
not pay
someone.
it and to get someone to fight the system so that the system gets better. So that to me seems a lot more affordable than if there were bigger issues at hand. Yes,
I think we're done.
Okay.
Is this the last segment? We're done.
Could go on and
Thank
on.
you so much, Jeremy Cohen. I do invite you back.
Yes.
We
Thank you
don't
for
invite
having us.
everybody
Sure.
back, but we do.
I appreciate that.
850-386-8255. If you have any questions, give us a call at the station. Have a great weekend.